Welcome back to the channel. Here we break down books, ideas, and mindsets that can change the way you think. Stay tuned, let's grow smarter together.
Most people spend their entire lives working for money. But what if money could work for you? In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki reveals the hidden difference between the mindset of the rich and everyone else. It's not about your salary, it's about your financial education. This book exposes how school teaches you to be an employee, while the real world rewards investors, business owners, and thinkers who understand money differently. Today, we'll break down the powerful lessons that can change how you earn, how you think, and how you build wealth. Imagine standing at a crossroads in your financial journey. To your left lies the conventional path, the one most of us were taught to follow. Go to school, get good grades, find a secure job, work hard for decades, and hopefully retire comfortably. To your right stretches a different route, one less traveled, where money works for you instead of you working for money. This is the fundamental choice Robert Kiyosaki presents in his groundbreaking financial philosophy. Most of us grew up with well-intentioned financial advice from parents and teachers who themselves were products of an industrial-age educational system. Study hard, find a good job with benefits, save money. Sound familiar? Yet, despite following this advice, millions still struggle financially. Through vivid storytelling and practical wisdom drawn from his two father figures, his biological poor dad and his best friend's entrepreneurial rich dad, Kiyosaki unveils why traditional financial thinking keeps most people trapped in what he calls the rat race. This book will transform your relationship with money by helping you distinguish between assets and liabilities, understand the power of financial literacy, and recognize how the wealthy use systems like corporations to their advantage. Most importantly, you'll discover how to develop your own financial intelligence, the true path to lasting wealth.
Chapter 1. Two Dads, Two Roads, Contrasting Lessons on Money. I have two fathers, a rich one and a poor one, Kiyosaki begins, setting the stage for the contrasting financial philosophies that would shape his understanding of money. His biological father, highly educated with a PhD, believed in traditional education and job security. His best friend Mike's father, who became his financial mentor or rich dad, had little formal education but possessed profound financial wisdom. When 9-year-old Robert expressed interest in making money, his poor dad suggested studying hard to secure a good job. His rich dad, however, offered a different path. After agreeing to work in one of Rich Dad's convenience stores for a mere 10 cents an hour, Robert and Mike eventually found themselves working for free. Frustrated after 3 weekends without pay, Robert was ready to quit. That's when Rich Dad delivered his first crucial lesson. The poor and middle class work for money, Rich Dad explained as they sat on a park bench. The rich have money work for them. He pointed out that most people are trapped by fear and desire. Fear of not having enough money and desire for things money can buy. These emotions cause people to accept jobs they dislike and stay in them for life, never questioning if there's another way. When Robert complained about not being paid, Rich Dad revealed he was intentionally creating a situation where Robert would feel what it's like to work solely for money. I'm trying to teach you to see what most people never see because their emotions are in the way. By experiencing the frustration of working for pennies, Robert began to see the trap that ensnares most workers. This awakening led to Robert and Mike's first entrepreneurial venture. Noticing that the store manager was cutting off comic book covers for returns while throwing away the books, they created a comic book library in Mike's basement, charging neighborhood children 10 cents for 2 hours of reading. Soon they were earning $9.50 weekly without working at the store, their first experience of having money work for them instead of working for money. This fundamental distinction, working for money, versus having money work for you forms the foundation of Kiyosaki's financial philosophy. While most people focus on earning higher wages, the financially intelligent focus on acquiring assets that generate income without their direct labor. It's not about how much you make, but how you make your money and what you do with it afterward that determines your financial future.
Chapter 2. The Rat Race Revealed, Breaking Free from Financial Traps. Most people spend their lives working hard to pay bills, Kiyosaki explains as he sketches a simple diagram on a piece of paper. This is what I call the rat race. The diagram shows income flowing in only to be immediately drained by expenses, taxes, and mortgage payments, leaving nothing to invest in assets that could generate additional income. Sarah, a successful corporate attorney earning $250,000 annually, approached Kiyosaki after a seminar, confused about why she constantly struggled financially despite her impressive salary. Looking at her financial statement, Kiyosaki immediately spotted the problem. Each time Sarah received a raise, she rewarded herself with a lifestyle upgrade. A larger house in a better neighborhood, luxury cars, designer clothes. What she considered assets, her home, cars, and possessions, were actually liabilities, draining her wealth. Your house is not an asset, Kiyosaki told her, challenging conventional wisdom. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out. Sarah's mortgage, property taxes, and maintenance costs were creating negative cash flow each month. Her luxury car, rather than building wealth, was depreciating daily while generating expenses. Despite her high income, Sarah remained trapped in the rat race, working harder and harder just to maintain her lifestyle. Kiyosaki contrasted Sarah's situation with his neighbor Thomas, who lived in a modest home and drove a practical car despite earning significantly less. Thomas directed his surplus income toward purchasing small rental properties and dividend-paying stocks. While Sarah needed to work constantly to support her lifestyle, Thomas was steadily building a portfolio of income-generating assets that would eventually support him whether he worked or not. The rat race, Kiyosaki explains, isn't about how much you earn, but about the pattern of your cash flow. Most people work, earn money, pay taxes, and then spend whatever remains on living expenses and liabilities they believe are assets. The financially intelligent, however, acquire assets first, investments that generate positive cash flow that can then be used to purchase luxuries or acquire more assets. Breaking free from the rat race requires understanding the difference between working for money and having money work for you. It means prioritizing asset acquisition over consumption and focusing on financial education rather than simply earning more. As Kiyosaki puts it, the rich buy assets first, while the poor and middle class buy liabilities they think are assets. This fundamental shift in perspective is the first step toward financial freedom. Chapter 3. The Power of Financial Literacy. Assets, Liabilities, and the Path to Wealth. The single most powerful asset we all have is our mind, Kiyosaki explained to a group of students staring at the simple diagrams he'd drawn on the whiteboard. If it's trained well, it can create enormous wealth. He then drew two critical diagrams that would change their financial perspective forever. The first diagram showed an income statement with money flowing in as income and out as expenses. Below it sat a balance sheet divided into assets and liabilities. For most people, Kiyosaki explained, money flows in as income and immediately flows out to expenses, with little remaining to invest in assets. This creates a financial pattern that keeps them working indefinitely. To illustrate this concept, Kiyosaki shared the story of Michael, a talented software engineer earning a six-figure salary. Despite his high income, Michael's financial statement revealed a troubling pattern. His expensive home in an upscale neighborhood, luxury cars, and lavish vacations were all classified as assets in his mind. But these aren't assets, Kiyosaki pointed out. They're actually liabilities because they take money out of your pocket every month. Michael's revelation came when Kiyosaki asked him to reclassify his possessions based on cash flow rather than emotional attachment. His house required mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, utilities, and maintenance, all taking money out of his pocket. His luxury cars depreciate while demanding insurance, fuel, and repairs. An asset puts money in your pocket whether you work or not. A liability takes money out. Financial literacy begins with understanding this fundamental distinction. True assets include rental property, generating monthly income, stocks paying dividends, bonds yielding interest, intellectual property earning royalties, and businesses that don't require your presence. These investments create positive cash flow that can support your lifestyle and purchase more assets, creating a virtuous cycle of wealth. The rich focus on acquiring assets, while the poor and middle class accumulate liabilities they think are assets, Kiyosaki summarized. This simple but profound insight forms the cornerstone of financial intelligence. By directing income toward purchasing assets first, anyone can begin building a foundation for financial freedom. The key isn't earning more money, but developing the financial literacy to use whatever money you have to acquire income-generating assets. As Michael began restructuring his finances to prioritize assets over liabilities, he experienced the transformative power of financial literacy, not just in his bank account, but in his mindset. Financial literacy isn't just about understanding numbers. It's about understanding what those numbers are telling you about your financial future.
Chapter 4. Learning by Doing. Childhood Ventures and the Birth of Financial Intelligence. The best lessons about money aren't taught in classrooms. They're learned through experience, Kiyosaki explained, recounting one of his earliest entrepreneurial ventures with his friend Mike under Rich Dad's guidance. When they were just 9 years old, the boys discovered an opportunity that would become their first lesson in creating money. In Rich Dad's convenience store, they noticed the store manager cutting off comic book covers to return to distributors while throwing away the books themselves. Seeing opportunity where others saw trash, the boys asked if they could have the discarded comics. With permission granted, they transformed Mike's unused basement into a neighborhood comic library, charging local children 10 cents for 2 hours of reading. They hired Mike's sister as the librarian for $1 weekly and soon earned $9.50 per week, substantial money for 9-year-olds in the 1950s. What was the most valuable lesson from your comic book library? A seminar participant once asked Kiyosaki. That money can work for me. Why? While other kids were delivering newspapers in the rain or mowing lawns in the heat, our comic book library generated income even when we weren't physically present. We created a system that made money for us. Rich Dad used this experience to teach the boys about business systems and financial statements. He showed them how to track income and expenses, calculate profit, and reinvest in their venture. More importantly, he taught them to see opportunities that others missed. The ability to spot opportunities is the foundation of financial intelligence, Rich Dad emphasized. Most people are so busy working for money that they never learn to see the opportunities around them. This hands-on education contrasted sharply with conventional schooling. While their classmates memorized facts for tests, Kiyosaki and Mike were learning practical lessons about cash flow,
business systems, and opportunity recognition. Rich Dad insisted that real education came from doing, not just studying. Academic skills are important, he acknowledged, but financial skills determine whether you'll spend your life working for money or having money work for you. The comic book library eventually closed after a neighborhood scuffle, but the lesson remained. Financial intelligence begins with practical experience. By creating their first business, the boys learn more about money than most adults ever understand. They discovered the exhilaration of creating something from nothing and the freedom that comes from having money work for them rather than working for money.
This experiential learning became the foundation for Kiyosaki's approach to financial education. Practical, hands-on, and focused on developing the mindset and skills needed for financial freedom. Chapter 5. Corporations, Taxes, and the Rules of the Rich. Did you know the rich don't play by the same tax rules as everyone else? Rich Dad asked Robert one afternoon. The tax laws were originally designed to punish the rich, but the wealthy found a legal way around them. It's called a corporation. This conversation would unveil one of the most powerful financial strategies Kiyosaki ever learned. When Robert was 15, Rich Dad showed him something that his poor dad, a government official, could never teach him: how corporations served as legal tax shelters. Rich Dad explained that he owned nothing personally, but controlled everything through his corporations. While employees earned money, paid taxes, and tried to live on what remained, Rich Dad's corporations earned money, spent almost everything on legitimate expenses, and paid taxes on only what was left. To demonstrate, Rich Dad took Robert to a board meeting, where he watched as the corporation paid for cars, insurance, repairs, travel, health club memberships, and even meals, all as legitimate business expenses before calculating taxable income. The corporation is simply a legal document with some papers filed at a government office, but it's the most powerful financial tool available to anyone building wealth. Robert witnessed this principle in action when he started his own business in his 20s. Working at Xerox during the day, he formed a corporation to hold real estate investments. While his colleagues spent their commissions on bigger houses and nicer cars, Robert directed his earnings into his corporation, which then purchased income-producing real estate. His corporation could deduct expenses that he couldn't as an individual, and the properties provided tax advantages through depreciation and mortgage interest deductions. Financial IQ requires knowledge from 4 broad areas: accounting, investing, understanding markets, and the law. The law, especially tax law, is what gives the rich their greatest advantage. Most people work from January to April just to pay taxes, while the financially intelligent legally minimize their tax burden through corporate structures and tax planning. This knowledge isn't taught in traditional education, which is why even high-income professionals often struggle financially. Doctors, lawyers, and executives may earn substantial incomes, but without understanding how to structure their finances, they remain trapped in the highest tax brackets. The rich, meanwhile, use corporations not to evade taxes, but to legally control when and how much they pay. The rules are different for different entities, Kiyosaki emphasizes. Employees earn, get taxed, and try to live on what's left. Corporations earn, spend almost everything on legitimate expenses, and pay taxes on very little. Understanding and applying these different rules is crucial for anyone serious about building lasting wealth.
Chapter 6. Overcoming Obstacles, Fear, Cynicism, and Habits on the Road to Wealth.
Everyone has the potential to become financially independent, Kiyosaki stated to a room full of skeptical attendees at one of his seminars. But most people never achieve it because of 5 major obstacles: fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. He then shared the story of Susan, a talented writer who had approached him after a previous seminar. Susan had excellent writing skills but struggled financially. When Kiyosaki suggested she take a sales course to learn how to market her writing, she recoiled in horror. "I'm a professional writer with a master's degree in English literature," she protested. "I shouldn't have to learn sales." Her reaction revealed the first major obstacle: fear. Specifically, the fear of rejection that prevents many talented people from achieving financial success. The fear of losing money paralyzes most people, Kiyosaki explained. Winners use that fear as motivation to be smarter with their money, while losers let fear stop them from learning. He shared how his rich dad would say, "Texans have a saying, you're gonna go broke, go big. You don't want to admit you went broke over a duplex." This attitude toward risk, facing it rather than avoiding it, distinguishes financially successful people from those who remain stuck. Cynicism, the second obstacle, manifests as self-defeating statements like, "That won't work," or "That's too risky." When Richard, an audience member, shared how he'd almost purchased an investment property but backed out after his neighbor called it a bad deal, Kiyosaki pointed out that the property had doubled in value within 3 years. Cynics criticize, winners analyze. Listening to uninformed opinions costs more than most people realize. The third obstacle, laziness, often masquerades as busyness. Busy people are often the most lazy, Kiyosaki observed. They stay busy as a way of avoiding what they know they should be doing. The cure for this form of laziness is developing healthy greed, not the destructive kind that harms others, but the motivating desire for a better life that pushes you to learn and grow financially. Bad habits and financial arrogance round out the 5 obstacles. Many people develop spending patterns that prevent wealth accumulation, while others believe their academic intelligence negates the need for specific financial education. I know many highly educated professionals who struggle financially. Academic intelligence doesn't automatically translate to financial intelligence. Overcoming these obstacles requires self-awareness and deliberate action. The first step is acknowledging which obstacles are holding you back. Then you can develop specific strategies to overcome them. Financial freedom isn't just about money techniques. It's about conquering the internal barriers that keep most people financially dependent their entire lives.
Chapter 7: 10 Steps to Awaken Your Financial Genius. Everyone has financial genius within them, Kiyosaki declared, but most people never discover it because they're programmed to play it safe. To illustrate this point, he shared the transformation of James, a middle-aged accountant who attended one of his 3-day investment workshops. James arrived skeptical but desperate. Despite earning a comfortable salary for 20 years, he had little saved for retirement and felt trapped in his career. "I followed all the conventional advice," James confessed. "I got good grades, found a secure job, and saved what I could, but I'm nowhere near financial freedom." Kiyosaki recognized James' situation immediately. He was financially literate but lacked financial intelligence. Over the workshop weekend, Kiyosaki outlined 10 steps to awaken financial genius. First, James needed to find his emotional reason for wanting financial freedom, his why. Without this emotional driver, he would likely quit when faced with obstacles. James realized his deepest motivation was creating educational opportunities for his grandchildren that he couldn't provide for his own children. The second step involved making daily choices that aligned with his financial goals. Instead of mindlessly following consumption patterns, James began questioning every expenditure. Is this taking me toward or away from financial freedom? The third step required investing in financial education.
books, seminars, and courses that would expand his financial vocabulary and toolbox. Perhaps most challenging for James was the fourth step, choosing friends who supported his financial growth. Your income, wealth, and financial habits will tend to mirror those of your closest friends, Kiyosaki explained. James realized his social circle consisted mainly of fellow employees who complained about money but never discussed investment strategies or business opportunities. The remaining steps included mastering investment formulas, paying himself first by automating asset purchases before paying bills, finding good advisors while remaining financially educated enough to make his own decisions, and giving generously to receive abundantly. The world is full of opportunities, Kiyosaki emphasized, but only for those who can see them. Within 18 months of the workshop, James had purchased 2 small rental properties, started a side business providing specialized accounting services to real estate investors, and built relationships with successful entrepreneurs who expanded his financial perspective. "I haven't quit my job yet," James reported back, "but for the first time I can see a clear path to financial freedom. My assets are finally growing faster than my expenses." Kiyosaki's 10 steps aren't a get-rich-quick formula, but a methodical approach to developing financial intelligence. Financial freedom isn't about making a killing on one investment. It's about consistently applying these principles until your passive income exceeds your expenses. That's when you've truly awakened your financial genius.
Summary. The essence of financial intelligence isn't about complex investment strategies or earning more money. It's about fundamentally changing how you think about and interact with money. The rich don't work for money. They acquire assets that generate income whether they work or not. This shift in perspective, from working for money to having money work for you, is the cornerstone of financial freedom. Begin your journey towards financial independence by educating yourself about the true definition of assets and liabilities. Commit to acquiring at least one income-generating asset before purchasing your next luxury. Develop your financial IQ through continuous learning, practical experience, and surrounding yourself with financially intelligent people. Remember that obstacles like fear, cynicism, and bad habits will arise, but overcoming them is part of the process. Most importantly, take action now. Start small if necessary, but start today. Financial freedom isn't determined by how much you make, but by what you do with what you have and the financial intelligence you develop along the way.
If you're enjoying this content, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss upcoming videos.